Today, I'm taking you out to a remote mountain location called Narambi to drop off a portable sawmill for the community. And I think they're gonna be excited. I'm a little concerned that today's flight might not happen for a couple of reasons. The first one being the weather where I'm going, out to Narambi. Now, normally, Narambi is a great place to go. It's super beautiful. It's an easy place to get into, but the valley is only about 2 miles wide. And when the clouds come in, it really makes things difficult to be able to actually shoot a pattern, anything like that. So this is what I have for my weather, and it's all we have for weather. Today it's Thursday. I'm starting in Goroka. It's all gray up there. Looks beautiful out here. Where I'm going though is out here to Narambi, where right now it's a half a mile visibility. If we just scroll through the day, like all the way up here to 11, it's still a half a mile visibility. Oh wait, no. It's 1.5 miles visibility. This is only a forecast, so we're gonna try to give the guys out there a call just to verify that the weather is actually what it's doing, is what it's showing here from me. And the second reason is this. We spent an hour yesterday loading this portable sawmill up. We've got about 930 kgs in the airplane loaded right now, and it took forever to do it. And I do not want to have to unload it to load it up another day. Now it's gonna be crummy weather all day forecast today, and it's also gonna be not so great weather tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a better option. So I'm gonna hold off on fueling my airplane right now, just in case this flight doesn't happen at all this week. Let's go see if we can actually get a phone call out there. Typically, until the sun actually comes up is when the Digicel, like our cell phone towers, actually start working because it's all solar panel. So we might not even be able to get a hold of anybody out there via the phone, but we will try. Morning, Raymond.
Morning, Raymond.
You got Waylo Ringim Simplemano, Merilo Narambi?
All radio belong MAF.
Yes.
Last time only been go putim so Mary Blumium by start net. Try check him all MAF.
Okay.
Suppose Sam can give some update or whether try check him.
Okay.
Because no network now on the radio does.
Meeting goes same. Okay. Getting weather here in Papua New Guinea is definitely one of the challenges of being a pilot, because it's ever changing and there's not really a great way to get the weather sometimes. So I'm gonna call MAF and see if they can reach the guys out in Narambi on the HF radio this morning.
Hello MAF, hello, good morning.
Hey, morning. Me Ryan, one time new tribes. Me got one flight load Narambi today. So me no got welo second weather. Ina people try lo ringim lo HF today na kissing weather.
Misa sakol sing out lo radio tasol so me ba try sing out na check him if suppose kisim lahat ba me talk sa game report.
Okay, yeah, by me ringing you back lo 15 minutes or kind of same. All right, thank you. So right now they're gonna give them a call out there if they can. Like I said, if the radio is turned on, then we can get the weather. If it's not, I'm kind of leaning towards not wanting to go, because I don't want to just waste all the money to go out there. It's about a half-hour flight out there and a half-hour back, obviously. So an hour of wasted fuel if we can't land, which basically makes this whole flight kind of worthless, and then we just lose money because this is just a commercial flight. While we are waiting on MAF to get back with us regarding the weather, let's go over the weight and balance and show you kind of how I've loaded my airplane and how I know that this is going to be safe. So we're on the weight and balance tab here. I'm going to be fueling for 750 pounds going out, and you can see I don't have any seats on board. If I hit that, you got all the seats. Now I don't have any seats. It's just myself going out and back. Down here it says I have 919 kgs loaded. So let me show you where I've got that loaded. I've got 131 in the front pod. I've got 127 in the second pod. And then the aft and the hat rack, I've got 22 kgs. Then I've got 248, 247, and 144 right here. And that all adds up to my 919, which is what my manifest also says. I'm at the top, I'm near the rear, but as I burn my fuel, you can see my zero fuel is actually forward. Still got 9 kgs available to go on board, so I could actually just top up a little bit extra. 9 kgs is probably about 20 pounds. So I'm actually gonna take just a tiny bit extra fuel, because if I do go, I wanna make sure that I have enough fuel to kind of take my time, muck around in the valley, because I think it's gonna be pretty cloudy. It's the next day now. Weather is much better today. Not great, but much better. And that's just PNG for you. You wait a day and it's almost always gonna be way better the very next day. So I've got to do my walk around. I haven't fueled because I didn't waste my time yesterday. I haven't even done my walk around yesterday just because I kind of knew it probably wasn't going to work. But we should be ready to go in probably about half an hour. Considering it's a new day, let's go over the weather one more time to see what it is today. And then I'm going to give MAF a quick call and see if they've been able to get a hold of the guys out there on HF radio to get a more accurate reading of what the weather is going to be doing out there. We're starting here in Goroka and heading all the way out to this area right here. All that blue just means that there's a lot of clouds. Could be high clouds, could be low clouds. Not very clear with this one right here. If we switch over to the satellite, which it is right now, it is showing a bunch of moisture around the area. This is new because I just checked this a little bit ago and there wasn't any moisture out there. So all this blue, there's Narambi, all this blue is potential moisture in the area, which definitely probably means a lot of clouds. If we zoom way out, we can see all that white is a bunch of clouds, and all that, I mean, I just checked maybe like 20 minutes ago and there was none of this out there, so that means it's changing pretty quickly. All this gray area though is less clouds going down towards the coast. That's what that dark line is. So if I have to go IMC, I can maybe go down that way. I've done that before, get underneath of it. But Andrew, who's also getting ready right now, he's going to be going out with passengers. And so here in Papua New Guinea, under Part 135 operations, like an air operator business here in Papua New Guinea under 135, can fly through clouds, IMC with cargo only, but not with passengers. So he's got a full plane load of passengers, I don't. So I'm kind of the guinea pig. I need to be able to see if I can get all the way out there VFR so that I can let him know that yes, it's good enough for him to go as well. Let's call MAF.
Yes, morning.
Yes, morning, me Ryan, one time new tribes. You play in upload ringing my line lo no Rambi today?
Me trying call radio, but Raymond took Mrs. Pepper come radio, I'm not coming, me trying sing out, but Raymond only one ka boilo monina. I'm going to call him, I'm going to mountain, I'm calling him, and give with that. I'm not going to train all night, now I'm going to high cloud. Plenty blue sky come out.
All right.
Visibility good. Towards Zimbabwe way, I'm clear. Look at that clear.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, catch. That's all I need to hear to get going. Rider's on. Make sure my fuel's both on. And a low start. We'll let the NG get all the way up, stabilize before introducing our fuel. NG is coming up past 35, there we go. ITT is coming up at a nice slow rate and peaks out at 617. We've got 770 pounds of fuel on board, which is basically my IFR reserve plus an additional 20 pounds. So an additional maybe 10 minutes or less that I can use to muck around in the valleys if need be. Looking at here, the weight and balance, we've already gone over this, but I am full up. I basically topped up my extra 20 pounds worth of fuel. Goroka Tower, good morning, November Tango Kilo, request taxi Narambi 1 POB.
November Tango Kilo, good morning. Backtrack 17 left and then up 17 right, QNH 1019, wind light and variable.
1019, cleared to backtrack 17 left, line up 17 right, November 10 Kilo. Our lights on, very left and right. We'll do an overspeed check as I'm checking out the clouds down there. Yeah, we should have no problems being able to wiggle around them. Looking for 2070 plus or minus 50 on the NP. Once I let go of the button, it goes over it. That's checking to make sure that the overspeed governor, basically the secondary one, make sure that if the first one stops working, that it's going to continue to keep it at a manageable speed so my propeller doesn't just go flinging off. He's already told us to line up. The rotate speed 63 knots today. So we've got 63 in there, 75 if we have to come right back in and land. Switches and instruments are complete, our flaps are set. Indicated and verified at 20. Our trims are set. We'll be 50 knots by that tent up there on the right. Or we'll stop on the runway. After takeoff, we'll pitch for 85 knots. Considering EPL, considering feather, then we'll cut off, pull off, shut off, 85, 80 full flaps, emergencies, masters, and crack my door. Ignition, inlet, and lights are done. Harnesses are complete. High idle. November Tango Kilo ready for departure.
November Tango Kilo. 17 right left turn, cleared for takeoff.
17 right left turn, clear for takeoff. November Tango Kilo. Vehicle's complete. Ignition, condition, flaps 20, fuel, and harnesses are complete. 1390. I'm gonna make a left-hand turn and then try to get through that hole over there. Okay, torque is set. Actually, it looks like it needs a little bit more than 1390 today. Airspeed's alive. We're so heavy today. There's 50. Looking for 63. There's 63 and rotate. And just hold it right there. Bring our ITT back just a tiny bit. You know what, now that I'm kind of up, I can see that these clouds are quite a bit lower, probably at like the 600-700 feet range, kind of just scattered everywhere and broken. I'm just going to continue straight ahead underneath this one and then head around the next one. I thought it was further out, but it's not. There's over 90. Let's go ahead and go 0 degrees of flaps. Oh yeah, it looks like we can just wiggle right through here, get on top of this first layer, which is under 1,000 feet. Looks like it's right at 500 feet. Oh well, look at that. It's a lot nicer out here looking than it did on the ground, that's for sure. Let's bring our prop on back to 2,000 RPM. I just go to the bottom of the N. That's how I know kind of how far to pull it at the beginning, and then I make some small adjustments to get this number right at 2,000. I'm looking for 720 on the ITT. I'm going to let that set there for a second, see if it comes down. It's already 723 now. Do landing light, bypass, and igniters. Kroger Tower, November Tango Kilo, departed time 03, tracking 157 on climb, not above 9,000, estimating Narambi 24. To remember where I was going.
November Tango Kilo, not above 9,000. Contact must be 15 miles on 120.7 or 6622.
1207 or 6622 at 15, November Kilo. Or 6622. So this is HF radio here, and 1207 is my VHF. And the reason we have both here at Papua New Guinea is because of the mountains. The VHF kind of fades out as we get down in the lower the valleys and stuff, and in certain areas it just doesn't work. So as we get out here, probably about 15 miles, we might not be able to get them. In fact, we probably won't be able to get them on 1207, and we'll have to get them on HF. There's kind of like a dead zone, and I don't really know why, but it's just how it is. 1019 is our area, or I'm sorry, our local QNH. It's flashing as we go through 7,000. That reminds me, we have it set up to flash. To turn that down, usually around 10. I'm going to put 1009er. We'll get the local, the area QNH from Moresby when we give them a quick call. Here is our track heading out there, and all that weather earlier was kind of in that area. So, like I was saying, I might have to come out here and then go up the valley. We will see if that is what we actually do today. Unfortunately, we just don't have a really great way. I mean, the Windy app is good, but it's not always 100% correct. Looks like 9,000 is going to work just, but it should work to get us right over top of that little bit of a cloud layer, maybe broken layer up further on up. It was just last fall that they actually had a Bible dedication out here in Narambi, where they translated the Bible into the heart language of the people out here. There's actually over 800 different language groups in Papua New Guinea, and this is just one of those, very, very many. But took some photos when I was out there for that celebration. Pretty cool out there. Actually got a bunch of photos here for you guys to enjoy. This is my coffee table album that I've made for you guys, covering 40 different locations that I fly to here. A lot of them are different drone pictures, but I go over a little bit of culture, or how the airstrip was built, or when it was built, or even why it was built. Some different history, things like that. Like this place specifically, took 7 years to build the airstrip, and as we get out there, you'll understand why. It looks like a massive amount of work. Reaching the nearest road takes up to 2 days hiking. So a little bit of information about P&G if you guys want to find out more. If you guys would like to support the channel, or you guys would just like to have a really cool coffee table album, check it out on my website. I do worldwide shipping for you guys. Now that we're level 9,000, I'm going to bring my power lever here. It's going to bring my torque, the top number, and we're going to bring it all the way back to 1270. Let it sit there and settle on down at 1250. Get a little bit of left rudder pressure in here, and then hit my nearest button here. Look at that, right at 15 miles. Moresby 1207, November Tango Kilo transfer. Like I said, I'd be surprised if I get them. Moresby 6622, November Tango Kilo transfer.
November Tango Kilo, Moresby.
Good morning, November Tango Kilo, 15 miles to the south of Goroka, 900,000, estimating Narambi time 25.
November Tango Kilo 9,000, AVQNH 1010.
1010, November 10 Kilo. My torque settled down to 1220. Let's just bump it on up ever so slightly up to 1250. There we go. You can see those mountains way over there, all those ridges. I think all those are anywhere from like 11 all the way up to like 12,000 feet almost. If we zoom in way down here, yeah, 11,745 feet. There's a 12,000. And you can kind of see all right around 11, 12,000. So it's clear at 11,000 out there. I'm looking to head straight at 9,000. I'm not so sure it's going to work at 9,000. I'm looking straight ahead at 9,000, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to clear those clouds ahead of me. I've got two options here. I can head down through what looks to be kind of a cloudy lower route, or I can take the chance and get on top of all these clouds and hope that it opens back up once I get out there. Now for me, not a big deal, because if I get above, even if I can't go down, what I can do, I can come out here and then fly out into this area out here, because it's all lowering terrain, all the way down to sea level nearly, and go through the clouds on a descent. Not a big deal, but Andrew can't because he's got passengers today. I really need to see if I can get out there VFR and make sure that it works. You can see this lighter area right here, and it goes out into this green area. That's the low route. I kind of need to make a decision now. When we looked earlier, it said that the overcast was at 10,600 or so, and the people out here said it was an overcast, a high overcast. I'm gonna go the low route because I need to make sure that Andrew can make it. I don't want to get myself out there and then realize, oh shoot, I took the wrong way and I don't know if the VFR route way is going to work. So unfortunately it's the harder way, but I think that's going to be the best choice for this one. I'm just going to head on down. We're going to go right up this valley here where it's light, and then head out this way and go around and then come back in. That's why I have my extra fuel on board today, to do things just like this. Let's head down to 7,500 feet and head more out here to the right. Now I'll probably get all the way out here and it'll be clear above. I probably could have just gone up to 11,000, but that way I at least I'll know both options, so that when I do text Andrew on our V2, then I can let him know the best way to get out here. If you're a flight simmer and you would like to start experiencing flying in Papua New Guinea yourself, check out my Patreon page. I've got over 100 different flights that are linked with videos that you guys can try out, just like this one here. I'll post my track so that you guys can do it with some information about what the weather was like that day, and go this many distance and make a right-hand turn up these valleys. So you can recreate these same flights that I have underneath my commercial tier on my Patreon. And I have a lot of other exclusive videos I don't post here on YouTube on my Patreon page as well. Also, I forgot to mention, I did just start a second channel. It's just my name, Ryan Ferran. And on that channel, what you can expect is to see more aviation content, but not necessarily this type of video. Today, I'm going to be actually posting a helicopter video where I head out with one of our helicopter pilots, Stuart, to a location, and we have a tech specialist with us, and we go out and fix a solar panel system for one of our missionaries. So you can just get to see a little bit more behind the scenes and a little bit different operations that you're normally used to seeing. I'll be doing like time-lapse videos for a lot of my return flights, just with some relaxing music, just so you can enjoy just a nice scenic flight, have it playing off in the background or something, as well as I'll be doing some more behind-the-scenes videos, some walk-arounds at these places. So if you're interested in seeing some more content, check out the link in the first comment down below or in the description as well. And go check out some videos. I've already posted some videos on there for you guys. What we're going to do is we're going to throw our terrain on so that I have one more picture other than what I'm seeing out here. Because as the clouds get down on tops of the mountains, all the familiar sights that you're going, oh yeah, it's this valley, and oh, it's this hill, all those visual cues just kind of go away, and then you're kind of relying on something like this to show you, oh no, this is still the way to go. We're looking for that light area up here and another, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles. If this way does not work VFR, I can also come back out here over to Samogu and head through the Narambi Gap. I didn't really think of that a minute ago, but I bet you that probably would work. Although you can see all these mountain clouds right here. Yeah, I think so. We're going to head to the Simbari Gap right here first, see if we can jump over there. That's going to be the easiest, rather than going all the way around the low route. If you remember, I had my torque at 1250 when we were up higher. The air's thinner up there, the engine has to work a little bit harder. As I'm coming down where the air's a little bit thicker, my torque has just naturally creeped up. I'm going to pull my power back, just not wasting extra fuel. Don't really need to go any faster. Back down to 1250. I know the Simbari Gap is at 7,500 feet to get over it, which is probably right there, according to the same angle. Not looking great. That means I'm going to have to extend going down here further and see if I can get around it. And you see all this moisture, all that kind of haziness, that's all just sprinkles, which makes it very difficult to be flying close to mountains when it's just sprinkling and not getting off your windshield very quickly. And that's what we were seeing earlier with all that blue and kind of green when we looked at the weather together. We'll have really good visibility, 10 plus miles out this way. It is sprinkling, kind of misting, but we have really good visibility. So we're going to continue on down around this mountain and hope for the best getting back up in there. While we're here and not working our way around mountains, over the airstrip chart together. Narambi, 4,800 feet is a touchdown elevation. Touchdown slope says 5%. No, it's not. It's like flat. There's no way this is a 5% slope runway. Length is 860 meters long, super long. It's very slippery when wet. Very true. It did not rain, they said on the phone last night, which is good. I also know that the very first probably 1/4 of the runway, right where we touch down, has really good braking, very firm, and right after that, once we get more into the grass, it gets like hydroplaning slippery. So I'm going to get on the brakes and heavy reverse as hard as I can in that first quarter so that I'm to a nice manageable speed, otherwise I'll just continue sliding down the runway. Other than that, it's soft at the other end of the runway. I'm not going to worry about that on landing. I won't make it all the way there. And we want our circuit altitude of 5,800 feet, which I'm nearly there now. Landing performance, 74 knots. We'll turn that. There we go. We We have our selectors. We'll turn our TAWs off. Our VREF is set up. We'll do bypass and lights now while we have the time and space and mental capacity to get through our landing checklist. If we have to go around, let's go back to here. It's short final, power up. We're pretty heavy, so I'm actually going to bring that out. We're turning final at 5400. And I'm going to call a little bit earlier if I have to, just because I am at my absolute max weight and I want to give myself time and space to get around. So we'll power up 20 degrees immediately, right hand turn, resetting this to the top of the green for torque with a hard right turnout. Now it looks like we're going to have to go all the way around this time. Well, Wendy was not wrong that there is definitely moisture out here. I'm thinking I'm going to have to come almost all the way over to the green area before I'm going to be able to really make a nice track back up the valley. It looks like it's a higher overcast once I get out from underneath this low one right here. So let's start climbing. Our torque back up, so I'm watching my ITT actually now. All stations Narambi, Kodiak November Tango Kilo, 10 miles to the west, 6,000 will be circuit at time 28. We're going to get around and then we're going to notice we probably could have done this a lot easier and just gone through the Narambi Gap. That's all right. We now will probably know what to tell Andrew the best way to get out here. It's looking pretty nice out here, actually. We said that the landing on runway 01, so hit OBS, turn to 010. There we go. Now you can see the orientation of the runway. We're going to fly overhead, turn right back around, and then enter a left downwind for 10. Let's do heading and altitude select. Way I can get my hands off the yoke. I've got my text ready. Send Andrew. Tell him not to go. Tell him to go through the Narambi Gap, not the way I went at 11,000. There's no point in coming the way I went, but now I know. And I'll have no issues being able to get out here. As I get over this last ridge, then I'll know 100% that the airstrip is clear, and then I'll hit send and get him going out here. I think, I've been told, I'm picking up coffee out here. So I've got to unload 930 kgs out of here, 920 I guess, and load up with a full load of coffee, head back. So I'm hoping to do a time lapse for you guys on the way back, as well as some extra on the ground content today out here. All stations Narambi 1207, Kodiak November 10 Kilo in the circuit Narambi. Moresby 6622 November Tango Kilo. Moresby November Tango Kilo in the circuit Narambi. Report after landing.
November Tango Kilo.
The airstrip's open, the whole valley's clear. It does not look like it's really changing or going to change in the next 30 to 60 minutes. So, hit send. Yeah, looking straight ahead, that's the Narambi Gap. That's the way I should have gone. That would have been way easier to get through than the way I went. We've got 10 degrees of flaps, heading down to 5,800, turning final 5,400. Runway looks like it's in great condition. We plan to land kind of in between the first cone, the threshold, where the 3 cones are, and the first cone in. And you can see a dirt patch, that's where the really good braking is. And we'll park way down in the second parking bay. Up and harness is complete. We've got flaps and canceling our SAR. Still pretty high. I'm going to go 20 degrees of flaps early. But 74, 84, 94. 94 in downwind, 84 in base, 74 in final. A little bit high, so I'm just pulling my power and pushing over to get down quick. There we go. Runway looks like it's clear. People walking up and down the sides, but no issues there. A little bit fast, so I need more power out to slow on down. There's 94 knots. We'll add our power back in to hold it. I always seem to go low here. I'm already at my turning final and I'm not even there yet. There we go, turning base, pulling the power, slowing to 84. Full flaps checklist is complete, turning final. There's our 74 we're looking for. Lots of right rudder pressure on our final. 400 on the descent, a little bit flat. Hold my altitude just for a second. And then head on back down, there we go. Went up on uncommitted because we're so full up. 2 knots of headwind. 550 on the descent, that's looking nice. 1 knot of headwind, runway's clear, we are committed. A little fast.
500.
450 on the descent. Power. We're gonna just float forever. Watch out, chickens. Alright, well, not sure if I hit that chicken or not, but he was working hard though to get hit. Park up on the far end up here. Moresby 6622 November Tango Kilo on the ground, Narambi, cancel, SAR.
November Tango Kilo, Ayuda, correction, Rano, South terminated.
Narambi, SAR watch terminated, November Kilo. Park at an angle so they can just walk straight out, not have to carry all this heavy stuff anywhere near the back of the airplane. Let's shut down, unload 900 kgs. The sawmill, load up with probably 700 or 800 kgs of coffee, and head back.